What's up, guys? It's the Revolution back with another video. Well, the first video of the 2018 season. This one is going to be called, wait for it, the Revolution Roundup. So it's kind of like the same thing as Tabuma Talks, just my kind of twist of it and my analysis. And I'll be kind of covering some of the same stuff. I'll kind of go over the transactions and kind of my point of view of each trade and pickup and kind of those kinds of things. It's going to be pretty short. I'm going to go over the following week. I'm just going to say who I think is going to win each matchup. Kind of go through the divisions. As you can see, starting off the year, the first 3 games, there's 2 3-0 teams. We got myself, the Revolution, up front on top of the Pat Tillman division. And then we got KC on top of the Steve Smith Sr. division. And then right behind him, we got Justin, we got Gary, Dave, and then Kyle at 0-3. And then down here, as you can see, Anthony's trying to keep up with me here at 2-1. And then Michael somehow 2-1 with only 164 points scored in 3 weeks. I don't know how that happened. And then we got Mike, and then rounding out the bottom, we got Marcus. But I have one thing to say to those 0-3 teams, which is the night is always darkest before dawn. Before the dawn. May seem bad right now, but grind it out, and you might be there at the end of the year. Alright, so not too much. There's a couple of trades I wanted to look at because we haven't really talked about any of the trades so far this year. So we got, if it'll click on it. So as you can see here, we didn't talk about, so the first trade of the year was between myself and Michael. I ended up getting Leonard Fournette, and I gave away Emmanuel Sanders and Golden Tate. I thought I had a pretty good value here. Fournette obviously hurt. Kept him out last week, the first week I had him, which I was actually happy with. I got the W regardless, and he's going to be even more healthy now. I expect him to be back this week. If not, then it's a soft tissue injury. Those things can be hard to come by, and it's okay resting out a little bit longer. But I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be able to go 2.5 weeks he's been out, so that's probably good for that hamstring. Then I gave him Emmanuel Sanders and Golden Tate, and Emmanuel Sanders looks great this year. I knew he'd had a connection with Case Keenum, but through 3 games he's having a good year. And then Golden Tate, he's a solid maybe wide receiver 3 or so. So he got a possible wide receiver 2/3, and then a wide receiver 3 for a possible RB1. So I personally think, obviously for me, for my team, it was good. And then for his team, I guess it was good for him too. He needed wide receivers, and that was it. And then we got the Alshon Dalvin Cook trade. Now this is very speculative here, but I think it was a good, I think both of them got, obviously Dalvin Cook could be a running back 1. We just don't know. I was kind of going into this year a little nervous about Dalvin Cook just because that first year coming back off an ACL surgery is always kind of tough for a running back unless you're Adrian Peterson, but not everyone is Adrian Peterson. He's a freak. I think Dalvin Cook has a solid year. If he can get back into shape, that offense is going to be good, going to be better than what we saw last week against the Bills. I think they bounce back tonight actually and have a pretty good game offensively. Still don't know at this current moment when I'm making this video if Dalvin Cook is going to be playing or not. So I don't know. I don't even know if Kyle would play him or not this week. But ultimately, this is tough who I think wins this trade because Marcus needed a quarterback. Possible RB or running or wide receiver 2 or 3. And Alshon Jeffrey. As of right now, I'd probably lean towards Kyle just because Dalvin Cook has that upside of being a running back 1. But I think both teams got what they wanted. And then this last, was it yesterday, between Justin and Kyle. So Justin traded away Brandon Cooks and Marshawn for T.Y. and Andrew Luck. I think this was, it's not a bad trade. It's really not. I think this was, in my personal opinion, kind of a panic trade on Justin's part just because Jimmy Garoppolo going out, and there's so many quarterbacks out there right now. I think he could have picked up someone and not had to give away Cooks and Lynch. Lynch looks like Marshawn Lynch. He looks like he could be an RB1 this year, possible RB2, but possible RB1. Brandon Cooks, that whole offense is so prolific. I think Cooks looks good through 3 weeks. Hasn't got in the end zone, but I think that offense is so good. They can have 3 good fantasy wide receivers, and I think Brandon Cooks is gonna be a wide receiver 2 to end the year. And then Lynch, like I said, that was a great. I think Kyle wins this trade. I'm just looking at it from right now. Obviously, T.Y. has had a good start to the year, and Luck just hasn't really looked the same. I know it's only been 3 games, but like I said, quarterback is so deep. It's hard for me to really lean on Justin here winning this trade, but I'm going to go with Kyle in that trade. But other than that, there hasn't really been too many trades taking place. As we look at the matchups this week, we got myself versus Michael. Guess this week we'll see who wins that trade as we go against each other. Hopefully Leonard Fournette's back in the lineup. So obviously Michael's going to be starting Emmanuel Sanders, and he'll also be starting Golden Tate this week. As I look at his team here, let me scroll down here. So yeah. He's got Brady going against Miami. Patriots haven't looked that great through 3 weeks. I mean, last week they had kind of an off week, and they're 1-2 right now. But it's the Patriots. I believe in them. I believe that they'll get that offense back on track, and it's possible that they kind of start that this week. I picked up Sonny Michel off of waivers. I think he could be a good running back for him after Rex Burkhead going out. He could be the goal line back, but you can never trust Patriots wide receivers. But I decided to pick him up anyways. And he's got Barkley. I think this is going to be a good matchup here. Hopefully I can advance to 4-0 and start my season off strong. Obviously, no need to talk about Patrick Mahomes or the Chiefs. They're just fantastic. As we move on, we got Rapists versus Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this is another good matchup. 3-0 team versus 2-1 team. Anthony's got a lot tonight. A lot riding on tonight, Thursday night game with Kirk Cousins out there. Let's see here. I want to kind of look at this matchup here a little closer. So as we look, here, yeah, he's got Cousins. And Diggs, obviously, that hookup is really good. It could be really one of the most prolific hookups in the game, maybe besides the Drew Brees, Michael Thomas hookup, or Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. And he's also got Kyle Rudolph, so he has 3 players tonight in the Thursday night game, which is huge. Oh, and he's got his defense. So he's got 4 people, including defense, going tonight. A lot rides on Thursday night football for Anthony in this matchup here. I'm liking Casey's team a little bit. I mean, he's got Goff, he's got Gordon. Picked up Tyler Boyd this week. He looks like he's going to be starting him. I'm leaning towards. This is a tough one. It really is. Anthony's wide receivers are really good. I'm leaning towards Anthony's team because I think Kirk Cousins has a better game tonight, but it's close for me. And then we got Gloom and Dumpster Fire. Let me look at that matchup here really quick. Let's see. Obviously, gathering gloom. Gary has a lot riding on the Packers this year. Aaron Rodgers looks to have a big game against Buffalo. Hopefully he can stay healthy with that injury that he has there. I'm gonna lean towards Dumpster Fire here. I think he gets his first W of the year this week. Deshaun Watson against Indy could be a good game for him. He's got Gurley going tonight against a stingy Minnesota defense, obviously. And looks like he's starting the 3-headed monster with Gurley, Howard, and then Kerryon Johnson. So I'm gonna go with Mike here, just a gut call, getting his first W this year. And after that, we have Kinger Slingers versus Braun Swanson. Marcus looking to get his first W of the year. This one's close for me. That Tennessee defense is getting slept on this year, and Carson Wentz is going up against that D. I think they have a good defense. It's It's hard to imagine Wentz going off against them. Then we got Justin starting Ryan Fitzpatrick. Guess he's not going with Andrew Luck quite yet, but it looks like he's going with Fitzpatrick as of right now, and he's playing a good Chicago defense. So that scares me a little bit. It's going to be a good game. I'm leaning towards, unfortunately, Marcus, I'm sorry, I got to go with Justin's team here. His team's looking pretty good right now. He's got two solid running backs in James Conner and Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde is actually doing very well right now. And then he's got 3 solid wide receivers now, especially with Baker Mayfield back, Jarvis Landry getting the ball fed from Baker. You got Adam Thielen going tonight, and then Michael Thomas, and then Travis Kelce at his tight end. So he's looking pretty solid all the way down his lineup. I got to go with Justin here. And then the last matchup, we got McAfrican Americans versus Serial Decleters. As we look at the matchup here, I actually think Kyle's team is a lot better than his record shows right now. I still love Kareem Hunt. I think that offense is just too good, and they're going to be in the goal line a lot, in the red zone a lot, ultimately getting him a lot of touches in the red zone, ultimately leading to touchdowns. So I think that's good, and I think that Marshawn Lynch pickup could be huge. I think Marshawn Lynch is looking very good this year. They're using him on the goal line a lot, and he looks good. I mean, he looks like he's running the ball very effectively. And then he's got Cooks now, and then Mike Evans. I really like those 2 wide receivers, and he got Mike Williams rounding out his wide receiver crew. I think he puts up a good number here. Matt Ryan going up against Cincinnati. Tough defense, but I think that's going to be one of those games that are kind of back and forth, so ultimately Matt Ryan's going to have to throw the ball a lot. And then we got Declears with Breeze, Gio Bernard, Matt Breida, Phillip Lindsay, and then Julio. Julio just can't get in the end zone. That's been his problem ever since you can remember. Julio doesn't get in the end zone, and obviously scoring touchdowns in this league is huge. So he scares me a little bit. I'm leaning towards Kyle. Kyle, you're going to get your first W this week. You're going to go to 1-3. Other than that, that's all I got for this week. Might change it up a little bit next week. Kind of think of something new that I haven't ever done before, and kind of just build. This is just the first one. I'm going to keep doing new stuff, but other than that, that's all I got today. And I'll think of some cool ideas, and we'll feature it in next week's video. So thanks for watching the Revolution Roundup, guys, and continue to work hard out there. I know it's a grueling season, but just keep working, guys. Take it easy.